Her only purpose for arriving today is to spend time with kids and families and learn about their experiences. Beatrice conspired with them in that line. By now, Beatrice was 22 years old. Could she be held accountable for what she did? The Russian ring of Beatrice and Princess Eugenie was revealed by some new Epstein emails that surfaced online. It turns out that these girls weren't really pawns in their parents' scandal, rather they were equally engaged. In order to avoid being discovered by the royal family, they had set up their entire operation in Russia and were entering covertly. Females from Dubai to Epstein. It may sound absurd, but the authorities have all the proof, including photos of the victim. Testimonies. Naturally, Prince Andrew disputes that this ever occurred. He disputes that it ever occurred, and he will continue to deny that it ever took place. The Epstein case sparked the conjecture. Papers that provide details about Sarah Ferguson's relationship with Epstein and her daughters, those emails. Having personally experienced the Epstein past, they are astounding, but not all of them yet. You know, after reading this, I felt that Sarah Ferguson had completely betrayed her daughters. However, that was just the beginning. The authorities gradually made the connection. When Beatrice and Eugene were in contact with Epstein, they were both working directly with youngsters. They both founded philanthropic organizations and have always been active in a number of charitable causes. Beatrice is a co-founder of the Big Change Charitable Trust, a non-profit organization that works to elevate youth. On the other hand, Eugenie is a co-founder of the Anti-Slavery Collective, an organization that promotes awareness of contemporary slavery. The truth is now known, even if no one thought about it. These charities served as a front for Beatrice and Eugenie's nefarious activities. Labor, their true goal was to steal children from the system, children that no one would search for or notice. Then sell them to Epstein. It is demonstrated by the chronology. Eugenie and Beatrice were especially involved with these charities when Epstein was still living. Mrs. Beatrice maintains contact with what? She gets regular updates about our charitable endeavors, as well as artwork and other items that the kids here create and send to. She and I are aware of how much she values those, and she is coming today in part to spend time with kids and families, comprehend their experiences and the ways in which we are helping them. Princess Beatrice traveled to Russia in 2002 to see HIV-positive children as a portion of her early volunteer work. Princess Eugenie has backed groups like the Children in Crisis, the Anti-Slavery Collective, and Teenage Cancer Trust. Is it a coincidence? Most people don't believe that. The same tactics were being used by the girl's mother. She actually sought Epstein's counsel regarding a children's charity. While incarcerated, the documents state that on July 4, 2009, Amr Ayalab of the Saudi Arabian General Investment Authority thanked a redacted recipient via email for a meeting at Royal Lodge and talked about the Stars Foundation's efforts. Another email was sent on July 5, 2009, to which Epstein replied, "Join the army," with pictures of moms, not soldiers, nursing, not firing, reading to a child, and not instructing them in rifle shooting. Now, a lot of people think Sarah will respond next. Has anyone informed you you are a genius? She viewed Epstein as though he were a big brother who was supporting her in her company. More significantly, she was prepared to include him in Mother's Army, a brand dedicated to empowering women. She intended to give him power by giving him 51% of the equity and keeping 49% for herself, according to the filings. She would have done this for just one purpose, of course. Epstein didn't. Motivation to join the brand. Although he wasn't financially strapped, joining the group did provide him with access to. Experts believe that this incident was vulnerable, and Beatrice and Eugenie were joining a children's charity to do the same. The hunting of Epstein. The fact that the girls were being compensated for their services is even more repulsive. Eugenie is shown requesting $60,000 from Epstein in one of the emails. In a different email, Epstein was paying $14,000 for the sisters' airfare. Sarah Ferguson requests flights to visit him. She talks about her daughters visiting him. "Epstein and I had lunch together." To Epstein she writes, "It appears to be saying, thank you very much for seeing me and the girls." One of the sweetest things anyone has ever done is to compliment me in front of my girls. At the time they were young girls, or rather young women, and those crude remarks, extremely personal remarks regarding her daughter Eugenie, who had left to meet a lover or partner at the time. You are completely. It's astounding that he had a relationship with this powerful man before his conviction, but that it persisted. The craziest part, Beatrice might have been more involved than Eugenie, according to the Epstein archives. She began cashing larger checks more frequently. I feel totally and utterly deceived by Princess Beatrice. The British public ought to include you as well. Additionally, some of the emails demonstrate that Beatrice was doing many more. Beatrice talked to her mother about how to handle the media's coverage of Epstein, and Beatrice was telling her mother that since Zine had put everything behind him, he shouldn't be punished for his past transgressions. This, however, stands in stark contrast to what we've already been informed. She was exposed for standing up for Epstein in one email. She advised Sarah Ferguson to retract her remarks about Epstein. An email from 2011 revealed Sarah was nearly in a frenzy as she attempted to convince Epstein that the journalist had misrepresented her and that she had not dragged him into the media. To support her argument, she called journalist Eugenie Greek and called Beatrice as a witness. I had a conversation with Beatrice. After talking it over, we decided it was crucial to give Geordie a call back to make sure he realized the seriousness of not making a mistake and getting it incorrect regarding Jeffrey, since he was incarcerated for sexual offenses, but that he had completed his penance, been released from prison, and was going on with his life. For background, Sarah was alluding to an article from March 2011 that appeared in the London Evening Standard and discussed her connections to Epstein. I myself, on behalf of myself, greatly regret that Jeffrey Epstein became connected to me in any manner. However, neither Beatrice nor she really meant those remarks. And that's only the beginning. In that line, Beatrice conspired with them. By now, Beatrice was 22 years old. Could she be held accountable for what she did? The sender of another email was redacted, letting Jeffrey know that Princess Beatrice will be traveling with them to Mexico. I am able to observe the headlines already. Do you still communicate with them? Epstein answered, Beatrice is fond of me, it's all right. Additionally, Beatrice performed a crucial part in enabling Mountbatten Windsor's terrible interview with Emily Maitlis on BBC Newsnight in 2019. As stated, she went to a covert pre-in meeting with producer Sam Mallister, according to recently made public documents, and you know what? She wasn't there to pass the time, rather she was holding a pen and notebook. It seems as though she was ready to handle any PR catastrophe that could reveal Andrew, his second set of ears, in a room. She was even discovered during the interview. Strange presence. She advised everyone to get ready for this crucial negotiation, which they must perform on these delicate and challenging topics in front of Andrew's little daughter. Truly elevated an already remarkable experience to the next level. However, everyone is now aware that Andrew's goals were different. For those of you who don't understand, we're referring to the interview in which Prince Andrew used Beatrice as an alibi. He claimed that on the night he allegedly Virginia, he was picking her up from a Pizza Express party. It's safe to assume that Beatrice and Eugenie had a significant role in Epstein's activities, and now that the public is aware of the royal family's desire. Unrelated to the sisters, one royal insider claims that Prince William is considering his connections with Eugenie and Beatrice. The Daily Mail was informed by expert Richard Fitzwilliams that William, it is reported, may well take a hard line when he becomes king. It depends on how the royal family is impacted by the events that follow. Right now, there is the powerful potential for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to be arrested and potentially put on trial in the instances that the police are now evaluating. If this occurs, the royal family might not be able to continue with any York family members. The sisters don't seem to be very close to William and Kate Middleton, so it's unlikely that they would miss them. Ultimately, the girls are in an impossible situation. Circumstance. They don't do this. Can leave. They are unable to even cause. It's not a good day for PR. The authorities have tangible proof, and with victims stepping, the royal family cut them as they moved forward. Often supporters calling for justice, it's difficult for them to evade punishment. The sole query is, when are the authorities will take genuine legal action? More significantly, are they? Are you going to make arrests? Individuals who supported Eugenie and Beatrice from the shadows.